Om Shri Sai Ram. I offer my humble pranams at Bhagwan's lotus feet. And the topic for the talk is fortunate to be the contemporaries of the avatar. When it comes to being contemporaries of the avatar, we all will be having a different answer. I'm sure those who came in the early 70s and 80s will consider the people who came before them to be more fortunate. And those who came before that, probably in the Bala Leela phase or the Mahima or the glory phase, will consider those who came in the 40s and 50s to be more fortunate, because in those times Swami used to give uh, interview and special darshan to everybody. We all know the stories of the Chitravati days and how close Kuppam families and many such families were to Swami. So when it comes to this, when it comes to being the contemporaries of the avatar, each will be having a different answer, right? Because you see, even the people who are coming now who have not seen Swami will have an altogether different experience. Because finally, what matters is in this case is one-to-one relationship with God, because everybody is having a different relationship when it comes to a relationship with devotee and the Lord. And so everybody will be giving a different answer. And it's not that somebody is more fortunate or somebody is less fortunate. When the advent of the avatar took place in 1926, 23rd November, we are all fortunate that we all got the form of the Lord. And when it comes to the form of the Lord, it's not the form, it's the name of the Lord that also comes. And they say the form may disintegrate, the form may not last forever, but the name of the Lord lasts forever. When it comes to this being fortunate to be the contemporaries of the avatar, this topic, I'm remembered of an incident, or rather a story that happened in Tirupati. So in Tirupati, the Archakas have a tradition. The Archakas are the special Pandits who offer their salutations to the temple idol in Tirupati. So the tradition in Tirupati is the Archakas will first offer their offer their pranams at the lotus feet. First, have a look at the lotus feet, and they will offer all the rituals of the lotus feet, and then they will continue with the Suprabhatan, and subsequently it's only after that that they will open their eyes. So one such senior Archaka was offering, one such senior Archaka who has been there in Tirupati since like 40 years. He always thought that I have been serving Lord for like 40 years, but I still didn't have a darshan of Lord Balaji. So this thought and this emotion was always there in his heart. So one day while he was offering his pranams or the services, the rituals that he performs, suddenly the stone idol of Tirupati got transformed into a soft human-like skin. And this person, this senior Archaka could feel it. But since it's a tradition that we cannot open the eyes, he did not open his eyes and he continued performing the rituals, and he continued with Suprabhadam also. And once all the rituals were done, he opened his eyes, and to his amazement, what he could see that the Lord, the idol of the Lord Venkateshwara had disappeared, and in its place was Swami standing. The Sri Satya Sai Baba was standing in Chaturbhuja form, that is with four arms, and he was smiling. And with his smile in his face, Swami just looked at him and he said that you wanted to see me, right? I am here. What do you want? Archaka was stunned and he asked Swami, when did I ask to see you? In fact, I wanted to see Lord Balaji. Swami replied, I am your Lord Balaji. Taken aback by this answer, the Archaka asked Swami, But how can you be Lord Balaji? You have always said that you are Shiva Shakti Swarupa. How can you say that you are a Vaikuntapati Balaji? Baba softly replied, all are one, my dear children. God is one. He manifests in different forms and man worships the form to which he is more attached. All faiths are paths leading to the same goal. Why then do you see the difference? I have not come to disturb any faith but to confirm everyone in his own faith. I respond to everyone with whatever name you call me. You wanted to see the Lord in the form of Balaji, and so I am here to fulfill your wish. Saying so, Swami disappeared and the idol of Lord Venkateshwara was back in its place. In another incident, in 1988, there was, we all know that we all must have seen the images of Swami with deers in Brindavan. So these deers are like, they all came to, in 1976, I think they came to the Brindavan ashram from a nearby forest. And as usual, like it was a usual day, but one particular day in afternoon, 2:30 p.m. around, in the it was summer also, and in 1988, there was this one old deer, and that was wailing and crying a lot. Everybody was worried as what happened. Like students were worried why suddenly this deer is crying and wailing a lot. Like Swami just swiftly walked, opened the doors of Vrindavan and swiftly walked towards this deer's cage. He then patted the back of the deer and he just gently asked students to get some apples and he was feeding the apples. And after some time, the deer collapsed. So, so basically, the deer was fortunate that in his last moments, he could witness the avatar. He could witness the presence of the avatar. He could have the fortune of having the proximity of the Lord. So when the avatar descends, it's not like it's of course it's for the dharma sthapana as we all know, but it's also for like providing ananda to the devotees. In that historic letter written by Swami to Sheshamma Raju, we all know that Swami had written a letter to Sheshamma Raju. It's not just for him; it's for everybody. It's all for all devotees. And in that, there is a particular line. I will just read that line, which Swami has written to all the devotees, I should say. I have a task to foster all mankind and ensure for all of them lives full of bliss. I have a vow to lead all who astray away from the straight path again into goodness and save them. I am attached to work that I love, to remove the sufferings of the poor and grant them what they lack. I have a reason to be proud, for rescue all who worship and adore me aright. I have a definition of devotion. I expect those who devoted to me have to treat joy and grief, gain and loss with equal fortitude. This means that I will never give up those who attach themselves to me. So if you look at this, we all know that Swami expects devotions from us. And when it comes to devotion, we all know that pining for the Lord, pining for that darshan of the Lord, pining for that grace of the Lord is one of the forms of devotion, and that is the form of devotion that we can express. It was the same pining for the Lord that was with Meera and Radha. There is a song that Ek Thi Radha, Ek Thi Meera. That song actually distinguishes that the times of Meera and times of Radha, because Radha was a contemporary and Meera was somebody who came much later. But one thing that was common in both was they had that craving to have the darshan of the Lord. They were having that pining for the Lord. And it's not just Meera and Radha. We all know in Treta Yuga, when Lord Rama touched a stone, it got transformed into Ahilya. Why didn't not all stones got transformed into a human? That's because only that particular stone, the stone that was Ahilya, it had that pining for the Lord that someday Lord Rama will come and grant me his grace, grant me his touch, and I will be redeemed. What I mean to say is, we all we all need to develop, not develop, we all need to have that craving for the Lord, and that is more important, right? Pining for the Lord is more important than having the Lord. And this is, and it's not just, and it's not some saying that I'm saying. It's in fact in 2006 there is one incident when in 2006, if you all remember, Swami used to find difficulty in walking. I mean, he we all saw Swami was using wheelchairs and all. So in one particular time, there was Swami asked one student to hold his hand, and we all know that when some Swami holds somebody's hand, other students or the other people nearby will always feel, oh, how fortunate he is, he got Swami's hand, and so everybody was having this thing in his mind. So Swami just, we all know Swami knows what was in our mind. Swami just turned to them, turned to the students, and told just one thing. Do you think holding Swami's hand is more important? No. Pining to hold pining for holding Swami's hand is more important. Pining that Swami will hold my hand, craving that Swami will hold my hand someday, that is more important. And it is that intensity that God likes. When it comes to that desire to, that we all know that dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Swami says that there is nothing, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. We should have only one desire, desire to merge in Lord. And when we have that burning desire that someday we will merge in Lord, and not just merge, someday Swami will come and hold my hand. Swami will take care of my life. Swami will be the Ahalyo Dharaka of my life. Uddhara, he will do the Uddhara of my life. He will uplift my life. That intensity is more important. When it comes to intensity, there is a that there is a story of Socrates. Once somebody went to Socrates and asked him, "What's the secret to success?" Socrates held his neck and he dipped him inside the river, and he held his head for some time inside the river, and after some time he was gasping for breath, and he was like galloping in the water, and he was like struggling. So he brought him back. And now he asks that Socrates asks that student or his disciple or his shishya, so what did you find? He said, when you were, so he asked him, when you were inside water, what was one feeling that you had in your, that you had in your mind? He just said, I was just thinking when I will get out of this water and when I will be able to breathe. Socrates then told him, that intensity is what is the secret of success. So that intense desire that we need to have in our lives, that intense desire to have Swami in our lives, is that fortune that Avtara has granted us when he made this advent in 1926, 23rd November. Because this this fortune, this time, see, we may get moksha in some births or maybe many births later also. But this pining for the Lord, that I need to get Swami, I need to get Swami in this birth only. This intensity, this desire, and this opportunity may never come again in our life. And this opportunity is granted to us by this avatar. And we are all fortunate that we are contemporaries of the avatar. With that thought and with that idea that we all will pine for Swami, we all will someday merge in Swami, and we all pray to, and let's all pray to Swami that Swami, please grant us what you want to give. Please let us be close to you, and let us never be away from you. Yes, Sai Ram.